everybody. Welcome to Becky's House of Sewing. This is my podcast, videocast, YouTube video on all things thread and needle. Mostly cross stitch and quilting because it's kind of all I have time for. But, you know, you never know what you might find here at the House of Sewing. What you will always find are extra needles, though, as previously discussed at Stitching Today. So pardon my absence for a week. Nothing, it was all good things. My mother-in-law came home from the hospital. So, Mike and I left stitching early on Wednesday last week, went to the hospital, you know, did all the things, and it just takes a really long time. And I don't think we got home till like 8 o'clock, and I just didn't have it in me to do a video. So, my apologies. I think we all know who is most disappointed. So, Ron, my neighbor, I'm very sorry that I didn't have a video last week. But I hope to make you feel real good this week as we hit a couple of things, because it is the Wednesday before the end of the Alpha sale. Because I work at the Container Store, if anybody doesn't know, where I mostly design closets, but any other space, sewing rooms, garages, pantries, any space in your home that needs organization, I can design some shelving for it. So that is ending on Sunday, and henceforth begins my vacation. So I'm going to practice retirement, pretend like I never have to return to work for at least 7 days, and get some organization done in my sewing room. If you guys can remember, I have some big plans for a new cutting table / ironing board station, and it's like a quarter of the way done, maybe a half of the way done. I need, the organization part is in need. The shelving unit is together. In fact, that is what my iPad is on right now, video chatting, so I can be further away. I've taken the table down. I had a big 60 by 30 inch table in my, that's a wonderful desk, but it's just too big, not functional enough, and so I needed to do some rearranging. So, as I am genetically disposed to do, I rearranged the furniture in my craft room. And so I have a little more space to walk around, which is always a good thing. And so I just need to kind of continue to get acclimated and continue to do more rearranging, get rid of some things, you know, the usual stuff when you organize. But one of the main things to complete the table part is I need to get some plywood and make a firmer section for me to cut on. The shelving unit I have is 24 inches by 42 inches, and my cutting mat, the measuring part is 24 by 36. However, it's a little bit longer and a little bit wider, and the length is fine. It fits on the table beautifully, but I need like a 30 by 44 inch piece of plywood, I think, to set on top of it, and I have big plans for it. So that's what I want to show you starting off. We all love Lori Holt. If you don't love Lori Holt, you should stop this video immediately and search Lori Holt and start following her. She is a very, very what am I trying to say? She's ambitious, but that's not the word. Prolific, that's the word. She's a very, very prolific artisan in the world of sewing and needlecraft and crochet and all the things that are nostalgic and the things that we love. A little vintagey, a little bright colored. She uses only featherweight machines, or mostly featherweight machines. I wouldn't say only. She does have a Bernina. But she does like fabric lines, she does yarn lines, she's got planners, she's got buttons, she's got notions. The woman has a lot of things. So I wanted to get some of home dec materials, so home decor materials that are a little thicker than the cottons that I used to quilt with, to create my cutting station table and my ironing board table, because there's lots of YouTube tutorials on how to make your own ironing board. And I knew it wasn't too hard, but I used Lori Holt. I am going to use Lori Holt's version and Just Get It Done Quilt's version. I'm kind of mishmashing them together, and that's what I'm getting. So I didn't feel like I needed to necessarily get 100% Lori Holt stuff, but I was having a hard time finding home decor online because I didn't want to go to a store. I wanted to have the materials here at the house ready to go, and I still need to go get the plywood, but that's 10 minutes away from my house. So I went to fabric.com, which interestingly enough is owned by Amazon, and searched, and I ended up liking Lori's stuff the best. Go figure. So for the ironing board, no, the cutting board, 30 by 44 is what I'm going to cut. And how I think I'm going to have the have it sit on it. Anyway, I'm going to stop trying to describe it because you don't even know what it looks like yet. But anyway, I'm going to get a piece of plywood, and this is going to go over it. And I want it to be a hard surface. I don't want to do any batting on it because, again, the point is to have a solid cutting surface so that I can get a good cut and my table doesn't wobble. The table I had before is the kind that folds, so it has an arm that comes out into the middle to support it, but the corners then kind of wobble. And it's an old cutting table. It has served me well. So it's time to upgrade since I'm clearly into the hobby. So I'm going to wrap it with some muslin. Amazon. Got some muslin. That way, I'm obviously going to try and sand it down a little bit, but if there's any kind of sticky outy points, the muslin will work fine as a barrier for that. And then I'm going to use the Lori Holt tomatoes. Ron, I don't know if you're familiar with this, but this motif is a sewing tomato that you hold your pins in. They often come with a strawberry attached to them, and the strawberry is usually got some like emery board or sandpaper in it, so you can kind of sharpen your needles when you put it in there. So this is a very classic pin cushion, and Lori Holt did it in fun colors. And again, if you follow Lori Holt, she has all kinds of applique shapes that you can make different cool quilts out of. She's got books and books and books, and you can actually make this tomato if you so desired, which I don't. I'd rather just buy the material. And then for my ironing board, which I think is just going to be like 42 by maybe 20. It doesn't have to be very big. I like it a little wider than normal. The current ironing board I have is 18 inches, which is nice, again, because when you're ironing a big quilt top or a big piece of yardage, having as big of a surface as you can is good. But I also don't want it to be so unwieldy that it's hard to pick up and hard to find a home for, and blah, 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 blah. So I got, I'm going to also make it wool batting, because the wool mat that I have, which is a very popular option to have in a sewing room, because the wool keeps the heat, so it kind of presses your seams extra flat. A lot of people are now using clappers on as well, and a clapper is a garment sewing item that once you iron, you put the clapper on. It's just a chunk of wood. Ron, do you think we have any extra wood around in our house? Inside joke, ladies and gentlemen. But most of you know me, so it's not so inside. Anyway, a clapper is a piece of wood that after you iron something, you put it on there, and again, it slowly absorbs the heat and continues to make your seams extra flat, which when you are piecing items, it's good to have things as flat as possible. So to make an ironing board, you need a piece of plywood, you need some batting, you need some iron material. So there's this material that has aluminum on it. I believe it's aluminum. Looks like this. It's common aluminum, so that it kind of stops the heat from going all the way through to a certain degree. And then do the cover. So my cover is going to be this material. Some pretty pins. Just a light pink color with some fun color. So I liked it because I wanted to have some color, obviously. But it's hard to find what I really liked and what I really wanted. And over time, I'm sure it'll get dirty and I'll need to replace it and I'll have something else new. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is my first project. And once that gets done, I'll continue to kind of sort the stuff below. But what's one really nice thing about the unit that I have now is that I am a woman of many sewing machines. Let me just revel in that for a moment. I have my mom's featherweight, which I will someday show you guys because it is a very cool red one. I have a serger, and I have the old Bernina that my mom gave me that I used before I got my new Janome sewing machine. So I wanted to have them in a place where I can use them occasionally. They're easier to get to, and that I can move around a little bit easier. And it was taking up the serger and the featherweight were taking up some space that I wanted access to. So having them all my machines together is kind of nice. And again, it's right here. My machine is right here, and my ironing station, my mini ironing station when I need to get something ironed in between piecing, is right here. So everything's my table is on wheels. Look, ooh. So I'll be able to kind of have the things I need access to right away, some rulers and scissors and needles and safety pins and clips, all the little small stuff that I need at the ready right here in my little triangle. Because just like a kitchen, you need a sewing triangle. Your sewing, your cutting, and your ironing need to kind of be in a triangle. And my larger items that I will iron will be on the cutting table. You with me? You following? Excellent. Well, that's all I have to say about that. That's all I've done. I've only set up the shelving because it came in last week. And I haven't been able to execute the rest of it because I'm not on vacation and I don't have time. But my first day of vacation is Valentine's Day. So my husband already knows he used to take me to Lowe's to buy me some plywood. And let's get that cut up. Here is my book, my sewing book. This is Rifle Paper Company, one of my favorites. I love the pattern. We sell this at the Container Store if you're interested. Little pom-pom paper clips to kind of keep my place. I have not kept up with it this month. I've written it a couple of times, but I've done some sewing every day, which is good for me, but I haven't written it in the book. So I need to update that. But I've been working on Needle in Hand by Hello from Liz Matthews. It is an exclusive for Acorns and Threads, the Portland, Oregon sewing shop. Highly recommend it. I've made a lot of progress, so I'm excited to show you. Look. Isn't that cute? So there's still a lot of sewing, but it always feels good. You always feel like you're in the home stretch when you get most of the motifs are done. I only have a couple words left, and then I have all the doodads. The doodads. All those little, but look how nice it makes it. You can see on this side. And then what else do I have left? So there are 3 rows to the border, or 4 rows to the border. 4 rows to the border. They're nice and straight stitch. So on the very end, I haven't done those yet. It's this darker color, that darker part of this house, or I guess darker like that, every other stitch. So it'll be really nice. There's some, and then some back stitching on the leaves and the spools of thread. So there's still plenty to do, but you know, I'm on the home stretch. Looks good. And then I can get back to Token of Fall if I don't get distracted, because there's a chart out there that I want, people, and I am open to suggestions. So let me throw this out here to my studio audience. Hands Across the Sea, which is a great reproduction sampler company. There are partners. One is in Australia, one is in England. And Nicola Parkman does a YouTube video. She speaks mostly for that company, and she has been reproducing the prettiest Scottish sampler from the 1800s. So how cool is it that this stuff that I'm doing could be lasting 200 years or more? It's so exciting. But this is a sampler created by Mrs. Campbell from Oban, Scotland. I think that's Oban, Scotland is what the city is. I know Oban is the place. I believe she said it was in Scotland, but I don't know how the provinces work there. So I digress. But Mrs. Campbell was clearly a needlework teacher. So this is a piece that she was using to teach probably only girls how to do needlepoint and cross stitch. And the phrase in it says, pay attention to your work and keep it clean, or something to that regards. And it's got 27 beautiful bright colors in it. It is done in silk, 100.3 soie delégée, I think is how you say it, silks. So it will not be an inexpensive product, but I've been coveting it since I saw it. It just got released on Thursday, so I think I'm going to take the jump. My mother, who is always right, I don't think I've acknowledged that in the last couple of episodes, but she knows she's right. We all know she's right. Said that I should just go ahead, and if I'm going to do the silks, get it all at the same time so it's all ready to go. So when I get that, I'll probably order that next week on my vacation, because you gotta do some shopping while you're on vacation, and await its arrival. I obviously won't be a project I do on my vacation, but it may be a project I start on my next vacation, which will be in March. That's right, I'm taking a vacation in February, and I'm taking a vacation in March. You gotta use it or lose it, people, and I am not gonna lose it. Well, I mean, mentally. I might lose it, but I'm not going to lose my vacation time. That's what I'm saying. So that's kind of on the radar. Other things that I would like to do on vacation, which I don't know what I'll have time for. I am refusing to make plans other than to do whatever I want, because I'm going to pretend I'm retired. But there is a new sewing shop, not cross stitch. I think mostly. Sorry, big bang. I hope you guys saw that kind of slide down. I didn't even see it because I was talking. But that was my broom. All is well. Buster is not disturbed. He's sleeping right over there. He's adorable. Where was I? There's a quilting store that just opened in the Rock Hill area, so I might go there. There's a cross-stitch store over there. Might go there. There is a lady named Beverly Smith who is a quilter, and apparently she has a studio in a place called the Brooklyn Collective in Uptown Charlotte. Had no idea it existed. Her quilting is really cool. She draws portraits and then puts fabric to them and puts them on top of quilts. It's really cool. So I think I might need to go introduce myself to her, because all quilters need to know each other. I have tentative plans for a new quilting friend of mine that I met, and she lives in Black Mountain. That we might go to Stash Charlotte, because that's one of my favorites. She likes, my new friend likes the Rifle Paper Company fabric, like I do. She also likes Liberty of London, like I do. So I have a source. It's Stash. And then I'd like to go see my parents, since I haven't really seen them since before Christmas, and give them their Christmas presents. I'm sure I will need to go visit my mother-in-law. So as you can see, I have a lot to do. That's not even talking about the crafts that I need to do. I need a sabbatical, people. It's just too much. So I have a lot of things I would like to do. What ends up happening, nobody knows. It's a mystery. But I am excited to see how that unfolds. So I'm looking around my sewing room, and I think that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. Things are going well. Looking forward to the end of the sale. Feeling good, calmed, and relaxed. So that's always a good thing. I don't feel super stressed, because you easily could feel super stressed by the end of the sale. And looking forward to vacation. You know, Wednesday stitching. Wednesdays are the best days, because you have Wednesday stitching, and then you get to do videos, or I say you, I mean me. I get to go to stitching, and then I get to do videos and get them posted, and then visit some time with some family. So I am gonna let you guys go. I hope you guys get some good time in for stitching or the fun project that you like to do. Ron, I hope you get a wood project completed, because I know you're dabbling in the wood projects. We'll see you next week. We'll catch you on the flip side, when I'm footloose and fancy free, retired, only in my mind. But you gotta have goals. You gotta test things out. You gotta know what to expect, and that's what I mean. So again, hope you guys have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye.